Good day and welcome to the Prime Feed News. An AfriForum and Solidarity delegation met with U.S. President Donald Trump's administration at the White House in Washington, D.C. on Tuesday, urging them to punish ANC leaders and fight for the interests of Afrikaners. The delegation of the Solidarity movement was led by Chairperson Flip Buys and Head of International Liaison Jocko Kleinhans. AfriForum was represented by its CEO Callie Creel and as well as Solidarity CEO Dr. Dirk Herman for Solidarity. During the meeting, the group gave the Trump administration a memorandum. The group said it highlighted the human rights violations against Afrikaners and the ANC's reckless policies and poor governance of the country. A request was made for the U.S. to expand its recognition of Afrikaners as a cultural community and to increase assistance to include support for the establishment of cultural infrastructure that enables them to live freely, safely, and prosperously in southern Africa. Instead of terminating South Africa's membership in AGOA or enacting severe sanctions on the nation, the document argued that the interests of South Africans, particularly Afrikaners, would be best served by applying more pressure on ANC leaders to change their radical views. This memorandum indicates that the interests of South Africa's citizens, including Afrikaners, can best be promoted, it said. The meeting comes as tensions rise, fueled by Trump's recent executive order cutting U.S. aid to South Africa and offering refugee status to Afrikaners over fears of land expropriation and discrimination. But AfriForum rejected Trump's offer to relocate to the U.S. for refugee protection, saying they are not going anywhere. In a video posted on social media, Creel can be seen standing just out of the White House, explaining why they are in the U.S. In their letter, they wanted Trump to also act on the ANC politicians. Many accused AfriForum of treason and wanted Ramaphosa to act on them.
This was a bolt from the blue. We had known that there were plans for AfriForum and its affiliated organisations to send a delegation here, but neither the White House nor the visiting South Africans provided any advance information about their presence in Washington, D.C., and we still do not know precisely who they met. It's clear they entered the White House on Tuesday from pictures of the four men on social media standing right outside the main guest entrance to the building on Pennsylvania Avenue, all of them wearing visitor passes needed to enter the building. In a statement, they called their encounter with Trump officials historic, and they expressed their thanks for the president's decision to, in their words, highlight the human rights violations against Afrikaners, the ANC's reckless policies and poor governance in South Africa. They say they presented Trump officials with a document called the Washington Memorandum. It calls on the United States government to intensify pressure on President Ramaphosa and other ANC leaders. But the delegation argues that pressure campaign should not include efforts to revoke South Africa's crucial trading privileges under AGOA that some Republicans on Capitol Hill support suspending. The Expropriation Act, of course, was at the centre of conversations, and the document presented to Trump officials contains details of what the delegation called the wide scope of discriminatory racial legislation in South Africa. Dr. Dirk Herman of Solidarity insisted the current rupture in US-South Africa relations is not just a minor diplomatic understanding, but a diplomatic crisis that he says has been caused by the ANC. From the White House itself, there was no news of the delegation's impact on President Trump's determination to continue punishing South Africa. He has already received a letter from 4 Republicans on Capitol Hill urging him to consider suspending diplomatic relations between the two countries.